So you think quests are not for newcomers? Totally wrong, especially now that every quest will be playable with your best buddies, the Ultramarines. Let me guide you on your journey and give some very useful tips about gameplay mechanics along the way, so you can proceed smoothly. But why even bother? Well, because it's free loot, of course. Did you know that every rare item is worth 18 energy on average? Assuming you have only the normal battles open. So we should at least aim for that, even when you just have started with the game. While our main goal is not to get all the points, we should try to get as many as possible, to get some extra loot from the chests. It's not our main goal though, it's just the icing on the cake. So we get points in 3 different ways. For having health left while achieving a lightning victory, for every medal we get, and for satisfying the restrictions of the battle. The last one will be different for each encounter, but all encounters share the No Ultramarines restriction, which we will ignore for this quest. We need to use what we have. So let's start with the first encounter and our first real restriction. No characters with a ranged attack. So we'll pick our only 2 choices left, Incisus and Bellator. Fighting the Tau is very uncomfortable since they seem to love Overwatch. But they are a ranged faction, so first we get into melee range with Holden, triggering the close combat weakness trait from the Fire Warrior and forcing him to do a much weaker melee attack, with just 1 hit instead of 2. We will keep exploiting this trait for the whole quest. We will then cast his Hypermorph on the low ground, so it must do his attack on the other Fire Warrior, and will be targeted by the remaining Fire Warriors, since they prioritize targets on lower ground. Next, we use a strange behavior from the Rose AI in the game. He will not move when in melee distance of anyone, so we move next to him and summon our Inceptor to kill his drone. As you can see, no skull is shown on the Fire Warrior when we select Incisus. That is because there's variance in the damage dealt. The possible damage ranges from -20 to +20% from the damage stat of the unit. So while the average damage should kill the Fire Warrior, hence the displayed 69, the minimal possible damage does not. The guaranteed damage is displayed in yellow and is in this case 60. So Incisus will have a 29% chance to not kill the Fire Warrior. Please don't be mad with me if he survives. You can just go on with the fight. In the enemy turn, our summons should get rid of the remaining Fire Warrior, and we just need to heal up everyone with Incisus active to get all the points for the lightning victory condition and then finish row with our other units. In the next encounter we are not allowed to use characters with bio damage. Since no Ultramarine is using such heresy, we can use everyone and we'll just leave Bellator at home this time. We start with Certus killing the first Fire Warrior with this active, which does also some damage to the drone behind it. We then can soak up the Overwatch damage in melee range with Holen and let his Hypermorph kill the drone. This leaves Incisus and Varro to kill the remaining Fire Warrior on the left. In the enemy turn, everyone should focus down our summon, so we can focus on dealing some damage with our units. Just try to focus down row with everyone and heal Holen with Incisus. Then heal everyone up with Incisus active and finish the rest. For Common 3, we are not allowed to bring characters with piercing damage. So we must not bring Incisus into the battle, leaving us with only 4 units. You can again have some variance since Certus may not kill the Fire Warrior, but this time the chance for not killing him is below 5%. We will fly Bellator next to the Fire Warrior to trigger his Overwatch in melee, so we can approach with our other units safely. Move Holen into the Razor Wire so they won't block our movement next turn, and summon his Hypermorph to kill 1 drone. Target the Fire Warrior with Varro, so his Psyker trait can kill the drone and finish the Fire Warrior with Bellator's Inceptor. The Hypermorph should die and reanimate. Bellator should be at uncommon, so his passive can trigger his Inceptor to kill the drone. You need to target row for this to happen, otherwise the Inceptor will target the same target as Bellator if possible. Heal Bellator with Holen, use Varus active and finish row with Certus active. The Fire Warriors should kill Holen in their turn and he will return at full health. Just heal up and finish the last Fire Warrior. From the uncommon stages onwards, we do not care anymore about the lightning victory since we only match the power of the enemy with Holen. Our main objective is now to keep everyone alive to get the medals and fulfill the restrictions whenever possible. For Uncommon 1, we are not allowed to bring flying units, so no Bellator this time. As said, we need to make sure no one dies. So let's move Incisors out of danger zone and summon the Hypermorph with Holen so we have more bodies on the field. The Hypermorph will kill the drone and we can kill the other one with Holen. Heal the Hypermorph with Incisors and deal some damage with Certus. Incisors is a very tanky unit, so even with 3 ranks below the Fire Warrior he can take some punch. Just heal him up with his active in the next turn and finish the drone with Holen. The rest of the fight is just chasing the enemy and healing until they die. Don't engage with Certus or Incisors, as they may be immediately killed with the enemy high ground advantage. In Uncommon 2 we may not bring resilient characters. Well, Ultramarines do not have this trait, so nothing to bother for us. It's going to be hard to protect everyone since the map is very open, so let's start by hugging each other in the corner. And the next turn we need to make room for Holen. Use Certus active to push the Fire Warrior away and summon the Hypermorph with Holen. This way the Fire Warrior will not be able to attack our weaker units with their range attacks. Let Bellator stand by in the corner, we need him to summon next turn. Make room for Bellator with Certus and fly next to Rivers to trigger his close combat weakness. Heal Certus with Incisors and move Holen between the 2 Fire Warriors, killing the one on the lower ground. When everyone is in position, summon the Inceptor on the drone next to Certus. The Fire Warrior should die at the start of the next turn, so the only threat left that is able to kill our units is Rivers. So just make sure to always avoid being on low ground with your Ultramarines when there's a space available for a range attack, and try to trigger the close combat weakness. For Uncommon 3 we have again a restriction that is not relevant for us: blast damage. So we will bring our full squad this time. In order to get 3 medals this time we need to rely on Incisors passive, so he has to be at Uncommon rank. We will again hug each other in the corner and let the enemy approach us. The main threats here are again Ro and his drones, Revers and the Fire Warrior. So kill one drone with Certus to make room for the Hypermorph. Summons do not trigger Overwatch and we will trigger the close combat weakness for Ro and Revers this way. Summon the Inceptor with Bellator to get even more bodies on the field to block the enemy and use Virus active to deal some more damage. End the turn by healing Holen a little with Incisors. At the enemy turn the Fire Warrior will kill Varo. That is the point where Incisors passive should trigger for the revive, otherwise you will only get 2 medals here. The positioning might be slightly different in your battle, so just make sure to move Holen next to Revers and the Fire Warrior attacking the Fire Warrior. If he does not die, just focus him down with Varo, Certus and Bellator and always leave Incisors next to Varo and Certus to revive again if you moved out of position. Again, slowly focus Revers and Ro down while always triggering their close combat weakness. In the rare encounters we will not be able to get 3 medals every time since our units will get killed by everything, usually in one attack. So we need to make sacrifices in order to win these stages sometimes. For rare 1 we are not allowed to bring Psykers, so no Viro this time. We'll just pick Bellator and Certus for this one. We start with Holen approaching the Fire Warrior and summoning his Hypermorph in melee range to it. Hide Certus and do some damage and move Bellator into position for the next turn. Holen and his summon are going to die in the enemy turn, so no more revives from now on. Make some room for Bellator to summon his Inceptors on the upmost Fire Warrior, to trigger everyone's close combat weakness and finish the turn with Holen attacking a Fire Warrior. Unfortunately, Bellator and his summons will die in the next turn, but they gave us enough time to kill the remaining Fire Warriors. Just keep Certus out of harm's way and finish them off. For Rare 2 we are not allowed to spawn summons, but we can't win this stage without the Hypermorph, so we will not care about this one. The good thing is that we might finish this stage with 3 medals if we are lucky. Approach the Fire Warrior with Holen and summon his Hypermorph. It has a 33% chance to kill the Fire Warrior. If he does, it will be the first step to 3 medals here. Move Certus and Bellator back a little out of the danger zone and finish the turn. If the Fire Warrior survives, try to kill it with Certus and fall back with Bellator. Summon with Bellator on the next turn and heal the Hypermorph. Then always try to trigger the close combat weakness of the Fire Warriors and heal up with Holen until the Hypermorph finish the drones and the remaining Fire Warriors to get at least 1 medal and the loot. If everything went according to the plan, move Holen in the tall grass to kill the Fire Warrior. If he does not die, push it back with Certus and adapt accordingly. Otherwise, just clean up the remaining enemies with the Hypermorph and Holen. For Rare 3, we are not allowed to bring units with more than 2 hits. We will use Certus and Incisors for this stage. We need to use our knowledge of turn order here, because Incisors is only able to take 2 hits if the first one is in melee. By using trial and error, I know that the Fire Warrior nearest to our units is first. So we shoot him down the hill with Certus active and then soak up 2 hits with Incisors by moving him next to this Fire Warrior. Then we take the last hit with Holen in the tall grass and summon his Hypermorph. As always this quest, try to get as many ranged Tau units into melee range and focus down the drones, as they might block Holen's revive otherwise. Try to use high ground advantage and focus down the remaining units. The next encounter has 7 Fire Warriors, far too many for our squad. There's no way we can bind everyone into close combat with all the narrow paths in this map, while also dishing out enough damage. This will leave us with 3500 points. Not that bad for that roster. Now you can just keep farming the rare stages for the loot. You will not only have a 75% chance for the listed upgrade, but also get either gold or another upgrade up till rare. This will really help you progress your units faster. And how to proceed now? Well, if your roster is better developed, you really should check out Nandi's guide to get some more points, and maybe even farm the epic or legendary upgrades. Otherwise, take some economy tips with these guides to progress even faster.